Hello and welcome to Love Anything Art. Today I will be making these. To make the wood, I'll roll out several balls of clay, different colors and shades of brown. There's a light brown, a dark brown, a gold color, and then a white. You can use as many or as few colors as you would like. You'll need to flatten each ball of clay and then roll it out. After rolling out each of the balls of clay, you'll just need to stack them on top of each other. The order and color does not matter. You can do it however you would like. After they're all stacked together, you'll just want to cut it in half. And then you'll just need to stack them on top of each other. Just make sure that you don't have the same two colors touching each other. So I'll just stack my white on top of the brown color. And then just give it a gentle roll to get all the pieces stuck together. And then you'll just want to trim it up to get rid of all those messy, wonky ends. And then just set those aside and save them because we will use them a couple of times in the project. And then begin rolling the piece. You'll want to do this very gently. The first time I tried it, I did push really hard, and then it all just became a big blobby mess. So then I had to start all over again. This time I'm just rolling very gently and slowly getting the layers to combine and form together. And I do believe that looks good for the very first go. And then I will just cut it in half. And then again, just stack them on top of each other and repeat the flattening process. All right, now that I have it flattened, I'm just going to cut off all of the ends again. And then set that aside just for a moment. And then I have several pieces of the scraps that I will bring over, and I will combine them together and roll it out. And then you're going to cut your block of faux wood in half again. And then your rolled out snake, you'll just cut off 2 pieces and place them on either side of the clay. And then put the top back on and sandwich them together. And then you'll just want to give them a gentle roll. Again, cut them in half. And then cut off 2 pieces of clay and sandwich that between it again. And one more time, you'll just want to give it a nice gentle roll like we did before. And then cut off a little piece and see what it looks like. Then cut off a few thin slices. To make the wood look a little bit more weathered, you can give it a gentle stretching. And then using up a little bit more of the leftover bits. Just take some and roll it into a ball. And once you got the ball in the size and shape you'd like, then roll it out to make it look like a cylinder. And then from the slices of the faux wood, you'll just want to make sure that they are the same length as your little rolled out piece of clay. And you'll need a couple of those. And then cut each of those in half. And they're pretty thin. And you'll just want to make sure that they are the same size as your little rolled out piece of clay, with a little bit hanging over the top. And if you're good with the length, Then you'll just go ahead and slice off another piece of that faux wood. And then sit your little ball of clay on top. And then trace out a small circle the same size as it. And then you'll just want to make sure it sits on the bottom nicely, and then go ahead and roll it so that you join the two pieces together. And then you'll begin placing on your side panels. Again, using up some of that clay from earlier. Take a little piece off and begin mixing it until it is well blended. You'll end up with like a murky brown kind of color. And then I flattened mine into a slight dome shape and then stretched it out a little bit. And then you'll put that on the top of your little ball of clay in between all of the side panels. I did have to adjust my side panels so I could fit it in there. Once you get it in there, then you'll just take your little texturing tool and then give it a nice texture. And then give it a nice gentle roll to get everything back together. And then I'm just using an X-Acto knife, but you can use a tissue blade. And just begin making little slices down the sides of the side panels. And then I'm putting a couple little slice marks on the bottom of the panels. And then also I'll make some at the top, just to kind of make it look like the wood is split. And then I've rolled out some of this really bright green into a long thin snake. And I rolled it out on the paper so that it wouldn't stick to my workstation. And I'm using this little wooden dowel to make a little hole in the side of the wood panel. Slice off a little bit of that green clay. And then you'll just want to get it down into that hole. And it took me a couple of seconds here to get that in there. Hopefully yours won't be such a little booger. Alright, finally got it to stick in there. And then bend it and push it in different directions just to kind of get it however you want it to look. Or let it just kind of take its own little natural form. But I did kind of want it to have a little swirly in it. And I did go ahead and add a few more little swirlies in there. The little vines poking out the sides of the little hole. And I did roll it over and I made one on the other side too. And I rolled out some white clay and flattened both ends. And then I went ahead and sliced it into 5 pieces. Between each slice, I'm going to put a little bit of this green clay. Just begin at one end of the white clay, lay it flat on the green clay, and then cut out the shape. And take another piece of the white clay and sandwich the green clay in between the 2 slices, and then just continue on until you have green between each slice. And then give it a nice gentle push and get all the pieces stuck together. And I'm going to cut it in half at a slight diagonal angle. And again, put a slice of green clay in between the 2. And then when putting it back together, you'll just want to flip it over so that they come to a point at one end and they are round on the other. One last time with the green clay. You'll just roll it out flat, cut off both ends, And then you'll wrap the sides of your white clay in this green clay. Slice off any excess. Gently pinch it between your fingers. You want to start making this a really long cane. And since it is a small little flat kind of a piece, you want to take your time and get it to stretch out. It did take me about 5 minutes to get it to this length. I'm going to place this in the freezer because it is quite warm and I do need it to firm up a little bit so that I can cut it. And then begin pinching one end so that it looks like a leaf. And again, I'll place this back in the freezer for a few minutes. And I actually have this little ice pack. I'm going to just cut the clay right on top of it. Because it's really small, it heats up really fast and it gets all smushy. And at this point, you can just form it into a little bit better of a leaf shape. Using my needle tool, I'll make a hole at the top of my little barrel. I've rolled out some more of that light green colored clay. And then I'll just take it and get it to stick down in that hole. And then begin wrapping and twisting and coiling it all over the top. Then start putting in all of your leaves. You can tuck them in and out of those vines to make it a little bit more realistic looking. I've rolled out some red clay and cut off 4 even length pieces. Roll each piece into a ball, then take the ball and make one end come to a point. I've placed this on a metal stick pin, and then I continued forming my red clay into a strawberry. And using a needle tool, I began texturing it, putting little dots all over. Again, using that light colored green clay, I've rolled it out and cut off 9 even length pieces. And I formed each piece into a leaf shape. Pick up one of your strawberries. Make the hole at the top slightly larger. Place in 3 green leaves. Use a blade and make the leaf markings. At the top of each strawberry, I've placed in a small little sliver of the green vine clay. Place your strawberry on top, and then tuck in the vine. I'm pre-poking the eye hook holes and then adding in my eye hook. I decided to put a few leaves on the side of the barrel, right next to all the vines. Then I'll bake my pieces. And these are my earrings. I really like the way the wood texture and green came out in this. I'd never tried to make a wood grain texture like this before, and the results were amazing, and I really enjoyed how this piece finally came together. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Bye!